Okay, today we will be talking about water temperature and how it affects water quality. So, what is water temperature?
What do you think water temperature is?
The average kinetic energy of water molecules?
Water temperature is when water is at different temperatures, like hotter or colder.
Water temperature is basically the amount of heat that molecules have absorbed in which excites the electrons. To create higher temperatures, water absorbs the heat from its surroundings, also known as an endothermic reaction. As an example, when one puts water on to boil, the pot gets hotter and the water absorbs that heat.
Well, in the most basic sense, when we refer to water temperature here, we're just talking about how hot or cold it is. So then, how does the temperature of the water affect its quality?
So how do you think the temperature affects water quality?
The hotter water is, the less germs there'll be in the water because germs don't like warmth.
Water's quality, I think, if the heat is higher, that means more of the water is evaporated, and I think some of the unnecessary things that are in the water is evaporated out too, making it better and more drinkable.
How does that relate to water quality, one may ask? Well, hotter water temperatures cannot dissolve as many oxygen molecules as cooler water temperatures. In also relation of water temperature and higher water temperatures, the organisms that live in the water will have a higher metabolic rate, which requires the need for more dissolved oxygens. The lack of the needed oxygen reduces their lifespans, and in turn, these organisms run into the risk of not being around for the animals that migrate. You can see the trend here. Those species that migrate lose their food source, and the entire ecosystem basically collapses in of itself.
Well, seems like people were mostly talking about the drinking quality, but we're going to be talking about quality in terms of the health of aquatic ecosystems instead. So, water temperature can affect an aquatic environment in many ways. Cold water is capable of holding more dissolved oxygen than warmer water. Because of this, thermal pollution is one of the main problems facing an aquatic environment. Human activities such as cutting down trees and removing vegetation around the water exposes the water to more sunlight, leading to an increase in temperature. In addition, these practices can also cause soil erosion, leading to an increase in absorbed solids. Because of this, the water becomes turbid, which allows the absorption of sunlight, leading to further temperature increases. So, what does this mean for all the creatures living in the water? Well, as the temperature of the water goes up, so does the rate of photosynthesis in aquatic plants. This means more plants will grow, and when they die, it leads to an increase in aerobic bacteria coming to feed on the remains. Because these bacteria require oxygen, this leads to an increase in biochemical oxygen demand, leading to a lowered amount of dissolved oxygen in the water. Another problem is that the metabolic rates of aquatic organisms also increases as the temperature increases, leading to further increase in BOD and lowering of dissolved oxygen level. With low levels of dissolved oxygen, aquatic organisms become physically weakened, leaving them more susceptible to disease, parasites, and other pollutants, meaning things start to die, and that's bad. So, what do we do about it? Well, the best thing we can do is monitor what kind of temperatures work best for any particular body of water and work around the landscape to accommodate it as best we can.